3, 2, 1.
It's all the same shit, LA to Beantown. Weed clouds, shootouts and beatdowns. Keys pounds and G's down to squeeze rounds. I walk light, the featherweight, rocking heavyweights. Let me demonstrate Hennessy flowing by the...
What up, it's Pawz One, representing Below System. Shout out to Dilo, Norwalk, California, Los Angeles, worldwide motherfucking hip hop. That's how we do it. I'm promoting California right now to P-Town. Shout out to everybody over here on this side of town.
Keys pounds and G's down to squeeze rounds. I walk light, the featherweight rocking.
I got my name from graffiti. Back then it was, you know, you weren't allowed to have the same name as anybody else, and if you did, you had a battle for it. So I started writing, I had a few other names before that. A couple of them got burned. I got fucking, you know what I mean? Community service, tickets, sent to juvie, all kinds of other shit. I ended up changing my name right around the time I changed my name. Started getting better at my letters and shit, my throw-ups and everything. I started getting caught up again, so I was like, fuck it. That's when I started rhyming, so I made the transition. So the name comes from graffiti. That's where the one came from, because I was rolling with a crew, and they would rather hit the pipe instead of hitting walls, and I wasn't with that, so I started putting in work on my own, and that's where the one came from, Pawz One. And the Z is pretty much, you know, just change it up a little bit, so it's not with the S.
When the words ain't working, the guns do. Hustle under street lights, living life cautiously. Ain't focused on the flossing, thinking of what it's costing me.
Actually, I know I read a lot, I watch a lot of interviews and shit like that, talk to a lot of people, and there's always somebody in the family that's like, you know, my pops was a drummer, or, you know, my uncle was this, or, you know, shit like that. Like, honestly, my musical background is really just listening to music. Like, I don't really have no family members that really play or nothing like that, other than my little sister. But I guess that would be kind of forward instead of backwards. So, but yeah, she plays about 7 instruments, and anything you give her, she can pretty much play. Just give her the right amount of time. As far as music, like, I grew up listening to, I don't want to say everything, but, you know, anything that was on, I listened to. My aunts, uncles, pops, you know, everybody that was playing, you know, classic rock, playing early hip hop shit, really early rap shit, which is like the LLs, the NWAs, shit like that. And Stevie Wonder, and just Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, a lot of soul shit, R&B. So yeah, that's pretty much the background as far as where the music came from. The history with the blog is pretty much, I mean, it goes beyond the blog. It was, I was friends with these dudes prior to the blog, like before the shit was even an idea, and I used to do interviews. I had my own show on OG Husky Radio, and pretty much, you know It All was on there. You know, we had a lot of dope guests come through and just doing interviews, asking questions, and trying to do something different. We weren't asking, you know, the typical questions, trying to make it more fun, more conversational, so people feel like they're closer to the artist. And from there, they pretty much saw that, and they're like, yo, check it out. We want to do something different with our blog. We want to do interviews. And, you know, we like the way you handle the interviews. Would you be down to do them? And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So we started off, shit, with, you know, they got SP before I came along. They got Percy P before I came along. And then they pretty much started getting, lining up other ones, you know, like Dell, Static Selector, you know, Aesop Rock. Like, there's a lot of people, Josh Vietti. I mean, the list goes on, and it's just been, it's been crazy. It's been a pleasure to really sit right next to these people and do interviews with people I grew up listening to, and people that I know were very influential, you know what I'm saying? So with them, the only thing is, a lot of people think, because I'm in front of the camera, they think that I run everything behind the scenes, and I'm actually listening to your mixtape and stuff like that, but I don't really do none of that. I just do the interviews. So, I mean, it's been fun. You know, it is work at the same time, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Got a gun in my face. Think I'm lying, hiding dope in my ass crack. Treat me like Rodney, catch a 92 flash.
I would say the first thing that got me started into hip hop was probably graffiti, and you know, just being able to, because I like to draw when I was younger, and just drawing, writing on walls, and then, you know, doing letters and then doing characters and all that shit, and then it just kind of evolved into the whole to the whole music aspect of it. In the beginning, a lot of it was just freestyling. You know, I like to write, but I wasn't like a fucking great songwriter at the time. So I would freestyle a lot. Just, you know, go down the block, go to the park, wherever, cypher with whoever, whenever, and, you know, a lot of that shit turned into battles. And then, you know, we jump on a bus and go 2-3 cities over, house parties, battle people, whatever. And then, you know, that shit just, it evolved into what it is now. But ultimately, I always wanted to make music when it came to hip hop. I didn't really want to just battle. I didn't really want to just do graph. I wanted to do something that was gonna last a long time, you know?
Been on the cell blocks, that ain't shit for me to brag about. Dudes getting pepper spray beaten till they drag them out. Fully automatics out, shooting from the...
Well, just to stick to hip hop, I would say definitely Cool J. And that's crazy because like he was super young when he came out. He was real confident. I like everything about him was just dope. You know, his presence, his aura, you know, his rhymes, everything was just dope. Like, he was an epitome of hip hop to me. So when I was younger, seeing that guy on TV or whatever, that shit was crazy. You know, to see somebody that young doing something that everybody respected, even people older than him and his peers. So that played a big part in it.
Shots click, click, blow, leave them slumping in vest. Cowards love being loud when they pump up their chest. Out in the west where it's wild, got my prince on the...
See, it makes me sound like an old Viking warrior with like mad scars and helmet and all that shit, battle axe. I think it was a lot more, I think for everybody, I think it was a lot more nerve-wracking. It was on some like Shaolin, you kick in the door to the temple, you know what I mean? And it was just like, you're gonna end up fighting 72 motherfuckers in there and you don't know their skill level. You don't know what level they're on. And it was just, not only that, but you gotta fight on poles over fucking, you know what I mean? So they put the beat on and like, you don't even know what beat the DJ is gonna play. It's just, you don't even know that fucking DJ. You don't know what he has in the crate. I battled over Too Short, Blow the Whistle one time. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? So it's always like the curveball, and that was just one aspect of it. And like I said, you walk into it, that girl right over there, she might be the illest motherfucker in here. You wouldn't think so. And then next thing you know, they call her name out of a hat, and you gotta go against her. Never met her in her life. You can't Google shit about her. It's just like ready, set, go. And it was a lot more raw, and I think it was a lot more intense for the people involved too, as far as fans, because they were excited. They had no fucking idea either. So it was real exciting to see somebody who, you know, come from the bar. It might be some dusty 40-year-old dude come from behind the bar and just school a bunch of people, or it might be this little skinny square dude come out and just shut everybody down. So it was real exciting. It wasn't predictable at all, and I think that's what made it more fun, made it more dangerous. But on the flip side of that too, there was a lot of sloppiness to it. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people that would come in that had no business being in there. Some of them would just come on and kick writtens, promote their mixtape, and you know what I mean? Shit like that. So it wasn't really too organized. But I guess you take the good with the bad, you know? But yeah, it was pretty fucking crazy.
Can't stop, won't stop, listen to my heartbeat.
I was in a group called The Real Estate, and it was two cats. They had fluctuating members, and they had we did shows together, and they asked me to fill in for one of the dudes that just kind of, I guess, quit. And I was basically filling in his verses on shows, and some of the first shows I did were like House of Blues, shit like that. So I was like, what the fuck, this is crazy. And then chilling with like Cypress Hill and shit like that. And you know, they were doing their thing, but then eventually, like, I was more focused on progression. I wasn't trying to stay there, and I would try to give advice and things like that. We just ended up parting ways, but that was pretty much the first group. I think they're non-existent. The dudes still make music, but I don't know if it's a group. I don't know what the situation is. And then I was a part of BAD, which is Asterix and Destruct, and you know, it just, that thing was, it was cool for a while. You know, it was dope. A lot of people were excited about it. Lime Green was an original member of that shit too. So it was real exciting too, being a part of that, because a lot of people wanted to see a dope DJ, dope producer, dope MCs, and everybody coming from LA and pretty much putting all their shit in a pot and making a dope project. And other than that, I mean, fuck solo. I just try to focus on the solo shit because I can't be tied to nothing, because I don't want nobody to dictate my success. You know, I don't want one group member to be like, nah, I just broke up with my girl, or yo, I gotta go over here and do this and fuck off my shit. So, you know, I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I'd rather not let it happen. So I just try to stay solo. I fuck with my DJ, producer, default, and that's it.
Ashes of the blunts, never doubt it once. Gotta go and set your mind to it. Heartbeat pumping on pace so I could grind to it. Yeah.
Let me see. I would say Xbox, Netflix for sure. I fuck with Netflix. I fuck with Futurama and shit like that. And damn, I'm gonna have to say White Sox. I have to say why. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't been watching the shit other than the Dodgers here and there, but Bo Jackson, I was a big fan of Bo Jackson. He used to play for the White Sox, so I guess that would be the deciding factor for me. I used to be real big into sports. I used to play sports, but when I got old enough to understand like free agencies and owners of the team and shareholders and shit like that, I lost a lot of faith in sports as overall, because I seen people like Dan Marino, one of the dopest quarterbacks of all time, and he retired without a ring. Tim Brown, same story. Barry Sanders, same story, and the list goes on and on. So it just kind of, it said a lot to me, like some of these people are so greedy, they'll hold on to you and you'll never get a chance to really get that ring or get that trophy. So I lost faith in sports. And then plus it became a real big distraction too. Like, you're trying to make music and you want to check the score, you know? So, but I still enjoy it though.
Manifest that motherfucker, making it real. Try to trap me in a cycle, I'm breaking it still. You can tell by the look on my face, I set my mind.
Face the Facts is the album. It's my first album. I put out music before. It was mixtape style, more or less. Like, I got beats from everybody, picked the ones I liked, rapped on them, put the shit out, and that was that. It wasn't really produced, and I didn't know what the fuck that meant either. But you're talking about like kick, snare, hi-hat, you know, changing your tone and your delivery and all this and that. So I sat down with Breeze and Default, and we pretty much built an album from scratch, and they made all the beats, you know, down to the smallest fucking hi-hat, and all the way to the top, vocals and everything on top of it, and came out dope. We had a lot of dope guests on it too that came through. Terminology, Rocka from Dilated, Razkaz, Tumex, the homie Self-Provoked, Ariano, and we also got working on a remix with Master Ace. So that came about, you know, I pitched the album to a few labels. Nice. This motherfucker's bumping.
That's some behind the scenes right there.
Yeah, keep that shit. Keep that shit.
That's behind the scenes.
So yeah, we pitched the album to some labels to try to see if we could get some help, because we're doing it independent. And you know how it is. You know, nobody gives a shit about you till somebody else cares about you. So I reached out to some labels overseas, and Below System jumped on it and we're like, yo, we want a part of this. So, you know, we were going back and forth and finally signed a deal. Everything made sense. So they're gonna release the album worldwide, Australia, Russia, Germany, you know, Canada, everywhere. So that was a huge jump for me, getting somebody to believe in what I'm doing, somebody I never met, you know, on the other side of the world. So that was kind of big. And then to get the cosign from the OGs like Master Ace and Raz and Tumex, and them being a part of the project. So the name Face the Facts is basically like a lot of the shit that you're seeing and hearing right now is escapism. A lot of it is, you know, it's find a way out, whether it be mollies, whether it be fucking chains, whatever, you know, clubs, whatever. It's all escapism. But the sooner you face what's in front of you, the sooner you get past it, and you make that money, you get that car, you get that girl, you accomplish that dream. So the sooner you face the facts, the better off you'll be.
Intelligent thugs manifest poetry. Hopefully you see the dope MC overthrow TV. Socially conscious, we them.
My sponsor is Dilo. Shout out to Dilo. It's Cantonese. It means like the boss, like the big brother, the dude running shit. Pretty much. That's the brand right here. They've been holding me down, helping me out, and I see, you know, a lot of potential in the team. Just building with them for a long time. So I've worked with other people in the past, and you know, shout out to all them and anybody that's helped me out. But it comes to a point where it's like a business. Like if you're gonna give me a t-shirt, you want me to be a walking billboard, but I ask you to help me get some flyers and you can't do it, I'm gonna have to cut that shit short, because now you're just using me. And you're not reciprocating, it's not going back and forth. So really right now it's just Dilo is what I'm pushing real heavy. And you know, shout out to other homies that are looking out too. But that's pretty much the team. I want to shout out everybody that's watching this, first of all. Anybody that sat through this whole fucking thing. Shout out to the Label Below System, my producer, DJ Default. Shout out to Dilo, of course, DiloClothing.com. Shout out to the homie Knox, Cesare, Underground Hip Hop Blog. Fuck. I mean, I could go on and on, but most importantly is the people, though, because without the people, why the fuck would we be doing this? You know what I'm saying?
I burn the boots to the ground and never need no match. Cause the only thing harder is a primo scratch.
I use mind power, give back to the street. Always use my mind when I rap to these beats from the gutter, man.